Repeat
Yes,
the question.
the question was about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this has been disgraceful. Without a doubt.
So Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro are set to have a debate over anti-Semitism and Candace's recent comments on Israel foreign policy that got her fired from the Daily Wire. Look, I have no dog in this fight. I do support Israel as a nation, but I'm also a proponent of free speech. So I care about facts, right? I mean, defending Israel does not necessarily mean defending its government. It means defending its right to exist. Jewish people and Judaism are not the same thing, right? Jews are a people, Judaism is a religion, and Israel is a country. That's a very important point. The definition of anti-Semitism is hostility or prejudice against the Jewish people. That's according to Webster's dictionary. You can defend Israel's right to exist as a nation and also be an isolationist like myself and understand that America doesn't have the financial capacity to provide even more federal aid to a foreign nation that, by the way, doesn't want our help. They can defend themselves as they always have. And by the way, it is Israel, okay, for the moronic Free Palestine protesters. Like, there's no country on earth called Palestine. The Free Palestine protesters are just factually dishonest and ignorant. Israel has every moral right to defend itself from terrorist groups like Hamas. But on the other hand, that doesn't justify the IDF bombing women and children on the Gaza Strip either. I mean, both can be true, right? The surrounding Arab nations have launched multiple preemptive attacks on Israel since its declaration of independence. This includes Egypt, Syria, Transjordan, Iraq, Lebanon, etc. So the Free Palestine protesters that you see heckling Joe Biden and other supporters of Israel, I mean, these are the real anti-Semites. Also, they're just being dishonest if they actually understand the history. Palestine has never been free. Right? It was under British rule from the end of World War I up until 1948. Also called Mandate Palestine because it was mandated control under the League of Nations, right? And before 1920, it was under strict control of the Ottoman Empire. So when was Palestine free? Even worse, America's funding both sides of this conflict, right? We already sent around $3.3 billion in military aid to the Israeli government annually. And now we've sent $180 million to the Gaza Strip since the events of October 7th. That's directly from whitehouse.gov. So, to be clear, the federal government is sending hundreds of millions of your tax dollars to a polity controlled by a terrorist organization that's responsible for the murder, rape, and capture of over 3,000 Israelis just last October. If Hamas had the capabilities to destroy the United States, they would. Here's some of those nice people right here in Dearborn, Michigan, where I'm from, shouting death to America. Play clip.
We've been asked in the past, why are our protests on the International Day of Quds, why are they so anti-America? Why don't we just focus more on Israel and not talk so much about America? Gaza has shown the entire world why these protests are so anti-America. Because it's the United States government that provides the funds for all of the atrocities that we just heard about. And this is why Imam Khomeini, who declared the International Day of Quds, this is why he would say to pour all of your chants and all of your shouts upon the head of America.
So Candace, according to her tweets on X, is refusing to debate on any Daily Wire outlet, which I completely understand. A Ben Shapiro Candace Owens debate would be a ratings wet dream, right? She mentioned possibly being moderated by Joe Rogan, Charlie Kirk, or Patrick Bet-David. I like all three of those names. But on the other hand, instead of this conservative civil war over Israeli foreign policy and anti-Semitism, I think we need to concentrate on more American issues like people who shout death to America like we just watched, and the real threat to America, which is Joe Biden this November. Just saying.